So, Happy New Year everyone. In the first video of the year, I'm going to share the top 10 homes that stood out for me in 2022. The most expensive home, the cheapest, the biggest, the home that sold for the most over asking price, and the one that sold for the lowest dollars per square foot. So definitely be prepared to be surprised. So it's only really by knowing the data behind the homes sold in 2022 that I can help, sellers get the most for their homes and also help buyers get a deal. So let's get into the top 10 of 2022. So the first up is the most expensive home in the city limits, and that was 511 Hidden Acres, selling for 4.25 million. The home was a new built home, overlooking the golf course. It was first listed at 4.5 million, and then after a price reduction and 93 days on the market, it sold for 4.25 million. So, 6% below the asking price. With 3 ensuite bedrooms, open plan, living, dining, kitchen, opening out onto a pool, it definitely checks a lot of boxes for most people. I guess the only potential downside is being hit by a golf ball as you're sitting enjoying a glass of wine by the pool. Okay, the second one, the most expensive home outside of the city limits. So that cost 6.95 million. It was 4791 East Soda Rock Lane. So again, this was another newly constructed home, this time in Alexander Valley, and this was the most expensive home outside of the city limits. So the home was, it was a spec home designed by the well-known architects Zimmerman and Associates. The 4,100 square foot home was on a 3-acre parcel, and definitely, the perfect wine country retreat. 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, surrounded by vineyards. So at $694 per square foot on 3 acres, it was the highest cost per square foot of any home within the 95448 zip code. So the third on the list is the cheapest home. So that was $395,000, and this was 15691 Norton Road, so just outside of the city limits. With median prices now comfortably over $1 million, you really can't get much for your, $395,000. This home was listed at $295,000, which was, definitely underpriced. And it got multiple offers driving the price up to, over 30% of asking. But, with just 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom in a 520 square foot home, it's definitely a lot smaller than many ADUs. Unfortunately, this isn't the right side of the road to be correctly zoned for vacation rentals, but, I'm sure it'll make a great second home for, its Sacramento-based owners. So fourth on the list is the highest dollar per square foot home in the city limits. And this was 304 Plaza Street, costing $1,612 per square foot. Homes don't come much closer to the plaza than this, based on the iconic Plaza Street. At 1,500 square feet, it's a typical size home for many of the 3-bed, 2-bath homes in the downtown area of Healdsburg. On a corner lot that is just 6,500 square feet, it did have a swimming pool, which definitely accounted for its high selling price of $2.35 million. And, it did get a number of offers, which drove the price up, 24% above its asking price. So number 5. The most offers on a single property. Well, this was 620 University Street. It got 9 offers. This property closed back in February of 2022 at a time when it felt like almost every property was in a bidding war. It's easy to see why this one attracted a lot of attention, despite being on University Street, which is definitely a bit of a cut through across town. It was on a big lot with a pool, although the pool wasn't quite in the ideal place, and it did have a great mid-century modern feel about it. The 9 competing offers meant it sold for 1.55 million, having been listed at 1.195 million. So definitely another property that sold quite a long way over asking. So number 6, the home on the largest lot within city limits. This was 1365 South Fitch Mountain Road, which was on a whopping 101,000 square foot lot, or, to make it easier, 2.33 acres. And it's not often you find a home on over 2 acres within the city limits and on city water. So my clients were lucky enough to purchase this property for just 2.65 million. And it's definitely one of those properties, that feels like it gets the best of both worlds. It's within city limits, but it's got a rural feel with distant views to, West Dry Creek and beyond. For a property that is architecturally interesting, having been built in 2003, on over 2 acres and nearly 3,500 square feet, this home is definitely one of a kind. And, I believe it was purchased for a very fair price. If you are looking for something with killer views, a rural feel, but very close to downtown, get in touch at david@brewingtonhargreaves.com, as I've got one that's going to be coming on the market in the first half of 2023. So number 7, the largest home within the city limits, which was 68 Front Street, better known as the Riverbell Inn. Technically this isn't a home because it is run as a 12-room bed and breakfast. While the original building was built back in 1877, there was a major update and expansion in 2017. Now, the Riverbell Inn, as it's called, was purchased by an investment group called the Vertis Group, which actually is the one that owns Single Thread. And according to the media at the time, it's going to continue to be operated by the existing staff and won't change. However, I'm sure over time, the presence of the new owners will definitely be felt. Maybe it'll be an opportunity for Single Thread to start, holding events and weddings on what is an amazing lawn alongside the river. It'll definitely be interesting to see, how this develops over time. Number 8 on the list is the largest acreage property in rural Healdsburg. And this was a whopping 204 acres. The address was 8,950 Mill Creek Road. It's not often you get the chance to own, 204 acres with a Healdsburg address for under $1 million. However, although it is a Healdsburg address, the property is located, over 8 miles down Mill Creek Road. So, it would probably take you 40 minutes to drive to the property. There are a couple of parcels, so, in theory, it's possible to build a couple of properties, although, you would be totally off the grid. But hey, it's 204 acres for less than $1 million. So next on the list is the highest sale price to the list price. In other words, the most over asking. And the property that sold for most over asking was 1020 Langhart Drive, and it sold for 34% over the asking price. Every now and again, there's a property that goes for way more than I ever think possible. In 2022, this was definitely it. It was originally priced at what I thought was a fair, 1.1 million. Somebody actually paid 1.475 million, as I say, 34% over the asking price. The house is a nice family 2-story house with 4 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms, although a couple of the bedrooms were definitely on the smaller side. It did have a great 8,000 square foot lot and a pool, which was almost certainly the deal maker for the buyers, given how popular pools have been during the last couple of years with COVID. It would definitely be interesting to know how much it would sell for in the current market for sure. And then the last one on the list is number 10. The cheapest dollar per square foot within the city limits. And this house was 816 Bethel Road, selling at just $325 per square foot. Bethel Road is one of those roads which definitely worth looking out for properties there, because you can find a big property on a good sized lot with some great views, but at the same time, you're just so close to downtown. I'm actually amazed that this property sold for just 1.4 million, having been originally listed at 2.4 million. So there's quite a discount for you. After a couple of huge price reductions, it finally sold 58% below the original asking price. This is a property that definitely needs some work, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next as we go into 2023. If you are looking for a unique property or want to keep up with the Healdsburg real estate market, do sign up to my newsletter to get the latest updates. My contact details and also the sign up details for the newsletter are in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until the next one, go well.